Hello and welcome into the North Penn High School Gymnasium for some girls volleyball action between the North Penn Knights and the Wissahickon Trojans. For North Penn Television, I'm Jake Lobrecht. Alongside me, Mia Melcher, bringing everything North Penn from us to you here on Channel 28 Comcast, 29 Verizon, and we have a good one here at the North Penn High School Gymnasium. Wissahickon comes in at 1-3, North Penn at 2-3. North Penn coming off the victory over Penn Ridge, where they swept a 3-0 set Monday night here, as we covered here on North Penn Television, and they look to face off here against the Trojans in just some time. Starters for the Trojans include Mountain, Hallstrom, Pavona, German, Bean, Park, and the libero Shadowski. And for North Penn, it's Powers, Burton, Thompson, Taylor, Warrenley, Lilly, and the libero Adams. Now both teams take the court, getting ready to be in game one in this intense battle between the Trojans and the Knights. We will have 5 games if needed, best out of 5. Games play up to 25 points, and 3 will take a victory for either team. Now both teams getting set to begin game one. It looks like the Trojans are going to start it away, and it's going to be Bean with the first serve between Knights and Trojans. And Bean with the serve, hit by the libero, bumped by Powers, and sent over by, that was Patterson for the Knights. They're going to send it over for the Trojan, bumped by Adams for the Knights, sent over by Thompson, tipped, and bumped by Park. Set and sent over by the Trojan, bumped by Powers. North Penn players collide, but they get it over and sent back over by the Trojan. Powers hits it up, sent over by Maffa, and Patterson with the kill there for the Knights to give them an early 1-0 lead. Now Maffa's going to serve it away for the Knights. The dig for the Trojans. And they cannot get to it. Bean thought it was going to go over the net, but it falls just shy, and North Penn gets another point.
That's 2-0, North Penn Knights.
And Maffa with another serve. The dig by Hallstrom, and now sent over by the Knights. Diving play by Maffa, sent up by Powers, and hit over by Patterson for another kill. Knights get another point.
That's 3-0 North Penn Knights. North Penn looks like they are starting out with all the energy here tonight.
Maffa again with the serve for the Knights. The dig by Hallstrom, sent over by Bean. And the block by North Penn to give them yet again another point.
If North Penn keeps this up, it'll be a fast one.
Maffa again with the serve, hits the net, and falls on North Penn's side.
It's now 4-1 North Penn. Trojan serve.
And Hallstrom's going to serve it away for the Trojans. serve bumped by Brunton. Sent over by Powers at the line, but hits the net, and Trojans get a point.
4-2 North Penn. Trojans again with the serve.
Ostrom with the serve, bumped by Brunton. That was a dig, actually. Set by Powers, and Lilly sends it over, but it's out of bounds. Trojans get another point.
With 3 points in a row for the Trojans, it's now 4-3 North Penn. Trojans serve.
Serve by the Trojans, dig by Lilly, diving play by Brunton, but she can't get enough air over it, and it's going to fall out of bounds.
It was a good hustle there by Bruton. 4-4 North Penn, or all tied up.
And now Ostrom with the serve. It's going to go right out of bounds, and North Penn takes the point.
Back over to the North Penn side. It's 5-4 North Penn with the serve.
And now Warrenley coming in for Lilly for the Knights. After starting out with 4 straight points, 4 unanswered points, North Penn buckled there a little bit, all tied back up, but able to recover there as Patterson serves away. 5-4 the score, bumped by Ostrom, dig by Ostrom actually, over to Bean, and the send over by Park hits the net, and North Penn's going to take another point.
It's good awareness there by North Penn. 6-4 North Penn, again with the serve.
Patterson serves it away, and the dig goes backwards and out of bounds. North Penn's going to steal another point.
7-4 North Penn.
Patterson again with the serve. The dig by Shadowski, and sent over and blocked at the net by the Knights. That was Warrenley, Powers, and Thompson. The combined effort to give them yet again another point.
That's 4 straight now for North Penn, making it 8-4.
Patterson with the serve, and the dig is going to go out of bounds. Shadowski had a diving pass, and it's just too far over to the right on the near side, and out of bounds. Patterson again with the serve. The dig by Ostrom, set up by Bean, and sent over by Mountain. Brunton with the dig, set up by Powers, and Warrenley's going to send it over, tipped at the line by the Trojans, set back into play by Warrenley, set up, and that one's going to hit the net. Powers didn't scratch that. Patterson did not get enough air under it, and the Trojans are going to take back possession and another point.
9-5, Trojans ball.
And North Penn went 5 unanswered points there before the Trojans finally struck back and got a point. Shadowsko with the serve, bumped and set by Powers, sent over by Thompson, and a diving play by Bean, but she hits it out of bounds, and North Penn's going to retake possession.
It was a good hustle there, just not quite. 10-5, North Penn's ball. Again, game to 25.
Thompson now serving it away for the Knights. And that's going to be an ace for the Knights to give them another point.
It looked like there was a little bit of confusion on the Trojan side on who was going to return that ball, giving North Penn another point of 11-5 with their serve.
And Thompson sends it away, bumped by Shadowsko, set up by Mountain, and sent over by Valvona. Burton with the dig, set and punched over by Dolan, but recovered by the Trojans. They set it up. They're going to send it over. That's Bean. And that's Dolan with the bump. Sent over by Powers, but sent right back by number 9, Valvona, for the Trojans as they take another point.
That was a nice block there by number 9 to give the Trojans another point. 6-11, Trojan serve.
And now Mountain serving it away for the Trojans. Diving dig by Brunton. And then Warrenley's going to send it over just too far and out of bounds.
That'll give the Trojans another point. North Penn still leading, 11-7. Trojans serve.
And Mountain serving it away again for the Trojans. Bumped by Adams, dig by Adams, set up by Powers, and sent over by Warrenley. Trojans recover there, and they send it back over. Hits the net and lands on Wissahickon's side. North Penn's going to take another point.
With that point, it's 12-7, North Penn.
That's going to send Powers back to serve it away for the Knights. Served by Powers, set up. That's just going to be hit out of bounds by Ahlstrom, and North Penn is going to gain another point. Powers again with the serve. Hit up by Park. Set, and Park's going to send it over after the setup by Bean. And two North Penn players collide, and they cannot get the ball back over the net. Trojans take a point.
Again, there seemed to be a little confusion there on who was going to take that block.
The serve by Park. Set up by Adams. Put up by Powers and sent over by Warrenley. And North Penn steals a point there with the spike.
Nice hard spike there to put North Penn up another point, 14-8. North Penn serve.
And Lily's going to go back to serve it away for the Knights. The serve hit by Park. Set up by Bean. She tries to send it over, actually, and hits the net. North Penn's going to continue possession and take another point. Lily with the serve. Dig by Shadosko. Sent over and blocked right at the line by Warrenley. Scratch that Maffa. And now Park tries to send it over, but cannot get enough air under. It's going to roll under the net, and North Penn takes another point.
North Penn with several points in a row here. The Trojans really need to buckle down to secure the next point. It's now 17-8 North Penn. North Penn with the point.
And Mountain tried to dig there, but she just couldn't get enough under, and it actually went backwards on her and out of play. So that leads North Penn to another point. And now we have a timeout called by Wissahickon. And early on in this game, North Penn was up 4-0. Wissahickon came back, tied it up at 4. And now North Penn's starting to run away with game one, 17-8 the score.
I think North Penn really came out with the enthusiasm the first game and really just took the lead.
So now Lily's going to continue serving it away for the Knights. As mentioned, 17-8 the score. Lily with the serve, bumped by Mountain, dig by Mountain, set up by Bean. And the block at the line. It looks like that was number 16, Taylor, for the Knights.
North Penn is now up by 10, 18-8 with their serve.
And Lily's going to serve it away again. The dig by Park, sent over, and it's going to fall on North Penn's side, and Trojans are going to take a point from the Knights.
Could not quite get it over there. 18-9, the Trojans possession.
And now Vavona with the serve hits the net, and so North Penn's going to steal a point.
Again, North Penn goes up by 10, 19-9.
And now Adams with the serve for the Knights. The dig by Park's going to go out of bounds, and North Penn, it again, takes another point.
North Penn now only 5 points away from winning this game. Again, best out of 5 here.
And Adams with the serve, set up by Park. They're going to send it over. North Penn tried the block there, but it falls on their own side, as number 7, Ahlstrom, sent it over for the Trojans to take another point.
Couldn't quite get that block there. The Trojans bring it within 10, 20-10.
And Bean now with the serve, and that's going to go right out. And North Penn's going to regain possession and takes another point.
These next few possessions are key for the Trojans if they want to stay in this game here.
And Maffa with the serve, the dig by Park, and it goes out of bounds. North Penn takes another point.
22-10, North Penn, their possession.
And Maffa with the serve. And that's going to be a kill for the Knights, as no one was in the area for the Trojans, and it went right down into play and landed on the Trojan side. Maffa once again with the serve, hits the net, and the Trojans are going to take over.
The Trojans catch a break there. Their possession, 23-11 North Penn. Trojans serve.
And now Ostrom with the serve. The dig by Brunton, set up by Powers, and Patterson's going to send it over with the ace. Scratch at the kill. Take another points for the night.
Now only 1 point away for winning this game, 24-11. Again, this is game 1, best out of 5.
Patterson serves it away, set up by Ostrom, and that was number 19, Park, trying to go out of bounds to keep the ball in play and keep game 1 alive for the Trojans, but unable to get there just in time, and the Knights are going to steal game 1 from the Trojans.
The Knights definitely came out with the energy in the first game. Let's see if the Trojans can fight their way back and tie this thing up.
See on your screen, Maffa talking to the coaching staff for the Knights, trying to get some things settled out for the second game. Maffa had a great streak of serves. One of the key reasons why North Penn's currently up. Well, they're not currently up. They took game 1.
Yes.
Final score of that game was 25-10. As we look into move, and just 2 minutes are on the clock, and 2 minutes we'll look to move to game 2.
This game is big for both the Knights and the Trojans. With the Knights record 2-3, they're trying to bring their season to 500. Also with the Trojans, their record is 1-3, trying to bring up those wins a little bit.
So now Trojans and Knights both retaking the court. Trojans looking to even this game up and get back into it. The Knights looking to continue and move forward from their game 1 success and keep that into game 2. And it looks like Brunton's going to start off for the Knights, possibly. Now Brunton's going to start it away for the Knights to start game 2 between Knights and Trojans. Brunton with the serve, the dig by Bean, set up and sent over, saved by Lilly with the dig, set up by Brunton, and Patterson's going to send it away. 2 Trojans collide, and neither of them gets a hand on the ball as North Penn takes an early 1-0 lead.
Trojans need to stop here.
And Brunton with the serve, and it's going to land out of bounds to tie this thing up at 1. So now the Trojans are going to send Bean to serve it away. dig by Adams, set up by Powers, and sent over by Thompson for the kill for the Knights to get them another point.
North Penn takes the lead, 2-1.
Now Patterson's going to serve it away for the Knights. And the serve set up by Shadowski and sent over by German. Bumped by Patterson, sent over by, looks like that's Warnley along the far side. And saved by the Trojans as they send it back over. Saved but the dig by Patterson. And Thompson sent it back over the net. Bean with the hit there. Set up by Shadowsko and sent over. And Brunton with the bunt hits the divider in the ceiling. And it's kept alive, but Warnley can't get enough on it to send it back over the net. It's going to give the Trojans another point.
All tied up, 2-2. Trojans with the serve.
And Alstrom's going to serve it away for the Trojans. And that's going to go right out of bounds. And North Penn's going to regain possession and take another point. And now Thompson with the serve. The dig by Shadowsko. Set up by Bean and sent over. And way out of bounds there. It was Park with a send over, and North Penn's going to take another point.
North Penn controlling the serves, 4-2.
Thompson with the serve. The dig by Park. Set up, and Park's going to send it back over. This one stays inbound. It's going to be a kill for the Trojans.
Couldn't quite get there, giving the Trojans another point, 4-3.
And Shadolski is going to serve it away. The dig set up by Powers and sent over. And doesn't get enough on it. Fans on the shot attempt, and that was Taylor for the Knights. And the Trojans are going to serve it away again. Shadolski serving it away. Brunton with the dig. The pass by Powers, and Brunton, as she sends it over, hits the net. And the Trojans now take the lead with that point.
Hits the divider in the ceiling, that possession. Got to ask yourself if that threw the team off there. 4-5, Trojans take the lead.
And now it's all tied back up at 5 with the serve hitting the net. Now Shadolski with the serve. Now Powers is going to go back to serve it away for the Knights. Powers with the serve. The dig by Mountain. Bean with passes it back to Mountain, sends it over, and that was Adams. And it looks like the Rams scratch at Trojans are going to take a point. Mountain with the serve. The dig by the Knights. And it looks like Powers thought it was going to go over the net. It lands on North Penn's side.
Looks like the Trojans now have the momentum. 7-5. They have the lead.
And the serve by Mountain hits the net. And North Penn's going to gain a point and retake possession.
It's 7-6. Trojans in the lead.
Now Lilly with the serve. The dig by Shadowski. Set up by Beans and sent over by Park with the kill. And Trojans take another point.
It's a very good hustle there, just couldn't quite get to it. Trojans continue to keep that lead at 8-6.
And the trio of Shadowski, Bean, and Park, they have made many kills tonight here as Park serves it away and gets an ace as Lilly could not get a hand on it with the diving attempt.
Again, that's great hustle. She just couldn't quite get there. The Trojans now in the lead again, holding that 9-6.
And Park again with the serve. Lilly with the dig. Set up by Powers, and Patterson's going to go over for the kill. Back over, and Patterson sets it up over to Adams, and now Brunton sends it back over. It looks like it was out of bounds.
North Penn really needs to get a stop in this next possession. They're down by 4. Again, they won the first game out of 5. Trojans looking to tie it up here.
And now North Penn calls a timeout as they sense momentum turning into the Trojans' way. And they want to stop that and try to get back under control with this game. Down by 4. A very manageable deficit right now. The Trojans have all the momentum here at the North Penn High School Gymnasium. And Park's now going to serve it away. And her serve goes right out of bounds. And so North Penn is going to get a point and take possession.
North Penn catches a much-needed break right there to gain possession back, and 7-10. Trojans still have the lead.
Now Adams with the serve, the dig, and out of the reach of Valvona. The diving attempt just falls short, and North Penn's going to take another point.
Great hustle there. Couldn't quite get to it.
And now Adams with the serve once again. And Bean sends it away. Now is Ahlstrom. He hit it over the net, and North Penn's going to take another point.
Just like that, North Penn's right back in it. 10-9, Trojans with the lead. However, North Penn's possession.
And the serve by Adams, bumped or dig by Mountain. Now she sends it over. And out of bounds, North Penn takes another point.
Just like that, it's all tied up here. 10-10.
So that timeout really sparked the Knights, stopped the Trojans' momentum, and now it looks like they have the momentum, gaining 4 unanswered points with Adams' serve set up by Ahlstrom and sent over. Saved by Patterson, set up by Powers, and sent over by Brunton, and out of bounds. And North Penn's going to lose possession and a point as the Trojans go up by 1, 11-10. And Valvona now with the serve, bumped by Brunton, saved by Powers.
Great hustle there.
And Brunton sends it over with the kill for the Knights to gain another point.
That ties it all up, 11-11, North Penn's possession.
Now Moffa's going to serve it away for the Knights. And hit back and out of bounds by Park, and North Penn takes the lead as they gain the point.
North Penn regrouping right there to gain back their momentum, 12-11, North Penn with the lead.
Now Moffa again with the serve. Park with the dig. Diving attempt by Beans, but she cannot get there as she hits it out of bounds, and North Penn takes another point.
13-11, North Penn.
And Moffa again with the serve. The dig by Mountain, set up by Park. And Bean is going to send it over. Lilly with the pass to Powers. And Patterson with the spike. And it's going to be hit out of bounds by Shadolski. And North Penn now with 3 unanswered points as they now lead 14-11. And Moffa with the serve. Hits the net. And that's going to stop North Penn's point spree.
14-12 here, Trojans possession.
Now Bean's going to serve it for the Trojans. And right out of bounds, and North Penn's going to retake possession.
Possession going right back to North Penn. Trojans couldn't convert.
And now Warrenly coming in for Lilly for the Knights. 15-12 to score with Patterson serving away for the Knights. The bump by Shadowski, set up by Bean and sent over by German. And Patterson hits it, but out of bounds, and North Penn is going to lose possession and a point. Now it looks like Dolan's coming in for Patterson for the Knights.
15-13, North Penn with the lead. Trojans really need to score here to come in within 1 point.
And Ostrom with the serve, right out of bounds. And so the Trojan can't convert on their attempt. And North Penn's going to retake possession as well with a point. And now Thompson's going to serve it as Taylor comes in for Adams for the Knights.
North Penn up here, 16-13. Game 2 out of 5. They did win the first. Trojans looking to tie it up.
And Thompson with the serve and out of bounds. And back and forth we go and change of possession. This time it's going to favor the Trojans.
Only down by 2 in this game. The Trojans 14, North Penn 16. Really looking for this point here for the Trojans.
And Stolsky with the serve, set up by Taylor and sent over by Maffa. And out of bounds, saved by Mountain and sent over. Diving attempt by the Knights. That looked like that was Maffa once again. And sent over, that was number 16, Taylor, with the kill. And North Penn, just like that, regains possession.
Great hustles there by both teams. 17-14, North Penn in the lead with the possession.
And Powers with the serve now. Shadolski with the set over by Beams. And Powers digs it. Maffa and sent over by Taylor. Save by number 7, that was Alstrom. And sent over by Park, hits the net and falls onto North Penn's side. And the Trojans are going to retake possession in this intense game 2.
North Penn in the right position there, just couldn't quite get to the ball.
And now Mountain with the serve. There's number 15, Dolan with the dig. And sent over by the Knights. Saved by the Trojans, and Bean's going to send it back over. Set up by Dolan, set by Powers, and sent over by Warnley with the spike.
A strong spike there.
And we saw that a lot Monday versus Penridge, and we see it once again here to give North Penn another point.
18-15 here, North Penn in the lead.
And now the Knights are going to send Lily back to serve it away. And this intense game 2, Lily with the serve. Set up by Sidolski. Sends it over, actually. Looks like that was number 16, Taylor, with the tip over. And to give North Penn another point.
Number 15 definitely using her height to her advantage there on that play.
And Lily with the serve, set up by Mountain, and she's now going to send it over. And Adams can't get there in time. The Trojans take another point.
19-16, North Penn with the lead. Trojans looking to close that gap here with this play.
Now Park with the serve and hit out of bounds by Adams. And the Trojans close the gap to 2 with that point. And Park with the serve right out of bounds. And North Penn takes another point.
North Penn just 5 points away from taking game 2.
And now Thompson coming in for Taylor for the Knights as they send Adams to serve it away. The dig by Mountain, set up by Bean, and sent over. Lily with a diving save, and Thompson sends it back over. And a diving attempt by Adams, and she hits it out of bounds, and Wissahickon going to take another point from the Knights.
That's a great hustle play there by Lily.
And Valvona is going to send it away. The dig by Maffa, set up, and Patterson's going to tip it over. Saved by Mountain, set up by Bean, and German's going to send it over. Tipped by Thompson at the line, set up by Patterson, and Powers is going to send it over. and that was Powers sets it up, and Maffa sends it over for the kill.
21-18, North Penn with the lead. Only 4 points shy of taking game 2.
And now Brunton's coming in for Maffa. Brunton with the serve. Park with the dig. Set over to Beans and sent over by Alstrom. Lilly there over to Powers, and now Patterson tries to send it over. Blocked at the line. Powers sends it back over, and Patterson sends it over, but denied by the net, and Wissahickon takes another point.
That's 2 great blocks there to keep the possession alive. To gain the possession, 21-19, North Penn with the lead.
And now Bean is going to send it over with the serve. Lilly with the dig. Set up by Powers, and Thompson's going to send it over. Bean with the diving attempt. And the Trojans can't get there, and the Knights take another point.
22-19, North Penn in the lead. The Trojans are coming out with a lot more energy in this second game, making it a closer one. They need to stop here.
And now Wornley coming back in for Lilly for the Knights as Patterson serves it away. Set up by Sidorski, and Park's going to send it over. Wornley with the save. Adams with the set, or the bump, and Wornley tries to send it over. Thompson sends it over this time. And that was Bean with the attempt, and German's now going to send it back over. Sent back over by Adams for the kill, and North Penn takes another point.
Some confusion there on the Trojan side. Not quite sure who was going to return that ball there.
Now timeout's going to be called by the Trojans. So we saw in game 1, North Penn came out strong and ended up getting a 25-10 game 1 victory. Here in game 2, we've had a closer game. Score 23-19 of deficit with the Trojans. And they look to come back here as North Penn is within 2 points of clinching a game 2 victory. Now Patterson's going to resume action here with the serve. Patterson with the serve.
Looks like there's a reserve, still North Penn's possession.
And Patterson with the serve again. Set up by Alstrom. German saves it, and Bean is going to send it over. Adams with the dig. Set up by Powers, and Wornley's going to send it over for the spike. Saved at the line by Wornley. Set up by Adams, and Wornley is now going to attempt to send it over, and it hits the net, and Trojans take a point.
Trojans number 17 has had many key blocks this game. German just has many key blocks this game to keep their possession alive and to gain possession for the Trojans.
And now Alstrom's going to send it over with the serve. The dig by Brunton set up, and Wornley sends it over, tipped at the line, and Wornley can't get there in time. Trojans take another point.
German with yet another block at the net. Forces North Penn to call timeout. They bring it within 2, 23-21. Trojans definitely came out with a bunch of energy since the last timeout. See if they can carry that into these next few points.
North Penn leading by 2, and 2 points would clinch a victory, game 2 victory for them. Trojans are going to serve it away here to resume game 2, though. It's going to be Alstrom with the serve. And the Trojans serve away. The dig by Brunton. Set up by Powers, and Thompson's going to send it over. Dig by Alstrom, set up by Beans, and Mountain's now going to send it over. The pass by Adams, sent over by Thompson, and she just deflects it past Mountain's fingertips for a point for North Penn.
North Penn now only 1 point away from taking game 2. 24-21. Trojans need a stop.
And Thompson now with the serve. It lands on the line. Perfect serve for the Knights as they clinch a game 2 victory, 25-21.
It's a great serve there. Right in bounds to take the game. North Penn now up 2. Again, best out of 5. Trojans need to win this next game to stay alive in the match.
And with that last serve, Thompson, the 3-year vet, gets it right on the line. She's been a confident player all game today. She's had many aces and many kills. And there was another ace as we just saw her conclude game 2.
North Penn has seemed to carry most of the momentum throughout the 2 games so far. Let's see if they can bring that fire into the last game here.
So coming into this game, North Penn was at 2-3. Wissahickon was at 1-3. North Penn trying to clinch back up to 500. And Wissahickon really wanting to get back into the win column. To see both teams talking, trying to figure out a game plan for game 3. Wissahickon, as mentioned, really needs to win this one if they want to keep this match close, as North Penn's now currently up 2-0.
The Knights just have to keep doing what they're doing, communicating, keeping the energy levels high. And they should be right on track here for game 3. Looks like it's North Penn Knights possession to start off game 3 here.
So actually, the Trojans are going to start possession here for game 3. It's going to be Bean sending it away with the serve. And Bean with the serve. The dig by Lily, set by Powers, and Lily's now going to send it over. Saved by Park with the diving grab, and Alstrom sends it over. Thompson saves it there for the Knights, and sent over by Maffa. Saved by Park with the dig. And now sent over by number 7, Alstrom. And that was Cooper with the dig there. The pass by, that was Powers, and number 7, Pazut, tried to send it over for the Knights, hits the net.
Great hustle and communications on that possession by the Trojans. Getting on the floor, diving for the ball, taking the early lead, 1-0.
And Bean again with the serve for the Trojans. The dig by Lily, set up by Powers, and Lily's now going to send it into the far corner, saved by Shadolski. and Bean with the setup and sent over by number 7 for the Trojans, Alstrom, and she gets a point there as Pazut could not get there in time.
The Trojans stretch their lead to 2-0, their possession.
So we have a pause in play right now. The refs talking to the crowd here at the North Penn High School Gymnasium about photography and to avoid using the flash as it's catching the player's eyes and it causing a disturbance here on the game. And now Bean is going to serve it away. Wissahickon up 2-0. The dig by Lily, set up by Powers, and Moffa's going to send it over inbounds, and North Penn takes a point.
Much needed point there by North Penn to get on the board. It's 2-1. North Penn possession, looking to tie it up.
Now Moffa with the serve for the Knights. Miscommunication there by the Trojans, and North Penn takes another point.
North Penn here with 2 straight points in a row. Definitely have the momentum. See if they can carry it on to the next point.
Moffa with the serve. The dig by Park, set up by Beans, and sent over by German. Saved by Powers. The North Penn gets the point there, and Moffa's going to send it back.
Looks like German there. Cross the line, cross the net, resulting in a North Penn possession.
And Moffa with the serve. Shdilski sends it away, but out of bounds. Mountain puts it back in play, and German sends it over. Moffa there with the bump, set up by Powers and sent over by Thompson. 2 players collide, and Powers going to send it over inside play, and North Penn takes a point.
North Penn there with the good recovery. Looked like there was a little bit of a miscommunication down on the court. They were able to recover and get it over for their point and possession. 4-2 North Penn.
And North Penn now has 4 unanswered points as Moffa serves it away with the kill. And Moffa's doing a fantastic job serving it now. 5 points, 5 unanswered points for the Knights. Moffa's Curtis has scored 4 of them as she looks to serve it away one more time here for the Knights. Park with the dig, set up by Beans and sent over by Mountain. Blocked at the line. That's going to fall into North Penn territory, and the Trojans take a point.
Good hustle there, 5-3, North Penn with the lead. Trojans possession. Looking to answer the Knights' scoring run there.
And Alstrom with the serve, hits the net, and North Penn takes the point and regains possession.
North Penn Knights up by 3, 6-3 here.
And the serve by the Knights. Sholsky with the bump. And North Penn's going to take a point as it went out of bounds.
Great hustle there, just couldn't seem to keep it in play. North Penn with the serve.
And Pazut serving it away. And out of bounds, and the Trojans take a point.
Just out of bounds there, 7-4. North Penn with the lead.
Now Stolsky with the serve. A high serve set up by number 15 for the Knights. Sent back over, saved by the Knights. And at the line, Powers tips it back over to the Trojans territory, and North Penn takes a point.
Great save there by Thompson. Great hustle play.
Now Thompson with the serve. Hits the divider. And anything in the room is in play. And so since it hit the divider and came right back down onto the Trojan side, North Penn takes another point. And Thompson with the serve. The dig by Ahlstrom. Bean sets it up, and Mountain's going to send it over. Set up by Maffa. And she sends it backwards, and it hits inbounds on the Knights side, and Trojans take a point.
9-5 with North Penn in the lead. Trojans possession. Looking to gain another point to bring them within 3.
And now Mountain with the serve, set up by Cooper. The pass by Powers and sent over and lands inbounds. It looked like that was over 22. Lily with the send over, and North Penn takes another point.
Just inbounds there to first Lily to gain that point there. 10-5, Knights with the lead. Trojans are really looking for a stop here to bring themselves back in the game.
And Powers with the serve, just out of bounds.
Trojans catching a break on the out of bounds serve. Down by 4, 10-6 here in game 3.
Now Park with the serve, hits the net, and North Penn takes a point. And now Lily coming back into the game for Warnley. And Pazut's going to come in for Dolan for the Knights. 11-6 to score. Lily's going to go back to serve it away. The serve, Mountain with the bump. Set up and sent over. Lily with the diving grab. And then Pazut sends it backwards. It's going to go out of play. Trojans take another point.
Great hustle there by Lily. Just couldn't seem to get it over the net. 11-7. North Penn still with the lead.
And now Bavono sends it over at Lily with the dig. And Moffa's going to send it away. Sent back over by Park. Saved by Cooper. Powers sends it up. And Pazut's going to send it over. Saved by Bavono. Set up by Park. And sent over by Bean. Lily with the set over to Powers. And Moffa's going to send it away out of bounds. And Penridge Wissahickon takes a point.
Just out of bounds there for North Penn. 11-8. North Penn still with the lead. However, the Trojans have a chance to close that score a little bit.
And Vavona's serve goes right out of bounds, and North Penn's now going to take the point back.
It was definitely a close one there for the Trojans. They seem to be right on the line. However, it's the North Penn point, so 12-8 North Penn.
Now Cooper's going to serve it away for the Knights. Park with the dig. Bean and German's going to send it over for the kill. And Wissahickon takes another point.
Great kill there by German. 12-9, North Penn.
And Bean with the serve. Cooper with the bump. He's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to take another point.
Wissahickon now within 2, 12-10.
And Bean with the serve. Cooper with the dig, set up by Powers, and sent over by Maffa. Tipped at the line, and Mountain just can't get enough under it, and North Penn's going to take back possession along with the point. And now Brunton's going to come in to replace Maffa, and Brunton's going to be serving for the Knights. So the serve here, set up by Mountain, bumped up, and it's sent over by German, out of bounds, and North Penn takes another point.
14-10, North Penn.
Brunton with the serve, out of bounds, and now Wissahickon going to take a point.
Possibly a momentum shift here. North Penn still up by 3. Let's see if the Trojans can convert here.
And Ahlstrom with the serve. Lily with the diving grab, who puts it back over to the Trojan side. Joski, and now Ahlstrom sends it over. Brunton with the bump, hits the backboard. And Lily's now going to send it over. What a great play by the Knights. Mountain, and now Park's going to send it back over. Cooper for the Knights there, sets it up. Powers sets it up, and now Pazout with the serve, tipped at the line, and Ostrom keeps it in play over to Bean, and now Park is going to send it back over, and it lands inbounds. And now Trojans take another point.
Earlier on in the possession, Lily with the great save, kind of bounced around on the backboard of the basket, kept her eye on the ball.
And now Ostrom and Brunton can't get there just in time. A diving attempt, but the Trojans take a point.
Bruton with a great hustle, fortunately couldn't get it over the net. 14-13, the Trojans within 1, looking to tie it up.
And Ostrom with the serve. Bumped by Cooper, set up by Powers, and Thompson's going to send it over. Lost momentum with the jump as they were not timed correctly, and Trojans take over with another point.
All tied up here in game number 3. Trojans need to pull out this win to stay alive in the match. North Penn looking to seal their fate.
And Ostrom with the serve, out of bounds, and North Penn takes another point to give them the short lead, 15-14. And Pazout's going to serve away for the Knights. Set up by Shulsky, and Beans and German's going to send it over. Saved by Cooper, and Powers sets it up for Warnley to send down the spike, and Beans going to put it back into play. Park sends it over, set up by Cooper and Powers, and now Warnley with the kill, and North Penn takes another point.
North Penn now up by 2, 16-14. The possession. Trojans looking for a stop.
And the serve by Pazout, out of bounds, and the Trojans take a point.
German subbing out right now. She has been quite a presence in front of the net for the Trojans.
Now Dolan comes in for Pazout for the Knights. There's Shadolski, sends it away. Dolan with the dig, and Thompson's going to send it over at the line. Tipped at the line by the combo of Park and Valvona, but it lands on Wissahickon side, and North Penn takes another point.
17-15, North Penn Knights with the lead.
And Thompson with the serve, saved by Park, sent over by Valvona, and Dolan with the dig, and sent over by, looks like that was 16 Taylor. Mountains now over to Park, who sends it over. Thompson with the dig, over to Powers, and sent over by Warnley for the kill, and North Penn takes another point.
Just great communication down there by the North Penn Knights. Constantly calling who has ball, constantly communicating with each other. Converting that into a point, 18-15, North Penn with the lead.
Now Thompson with the serve, saved by Park, set it back into play by Shadolski, and sent over by Mountain. Dig by Dolan, and sent over by, looks like it was Warnley, scratch at Taylor for the kill for the Knights. And yet again, another point.
19-15, North Penn with the lead and possession. Looking to close out game 3 here.
And Thompson with the serve, but it looks like a timeout was called just prior by Wissahickon. So the timeout here called by Wissahickon, trying to get the momentum back to be more even, as North Penn has really started to come away with game 3, 19-15 to score. North Penn has 5 unanswered points. And so here with volleyball, anything's in play. You can hit any part of the ceiling, or as you saw prior, you hit the basketball net and rolled around the upright basketball net. And so that can still be considered in play, and it can still be played as long as it does not favor a team and lead to an advantage. And so we saw that quite a few times here as the ball hit the divider and the basketball net. I believe both resulted in points for North Penn, as Thompson with the serve over to Park. And Park's now going to send it away from the pass from Beans. Thompson over to Powers. She's going to send it back over to Park. Now Beans and Mountain's going to send it over, saved back after the block. And now Park with the send over, set up by Thompson. And now Warrenley sends it over and out of bounds. And the Trojans take a point.
19-16 here. North Penn with the lead. Trojans possession. Looking to close that gap a little bit more.
And Mountain with the serve. And two North Penn players, miscommunication there, and they both went for it. It lands on their side. Another point for the Trojans. And Mountain with the serve once again. A diving attempt by Dolan, and she just can't get there in time. And the Trojans take yet again another point.
It's a great hustle play there. However, the momentum looks like it is with the Trojans. 19-18, looking to tie it up. North Penn also realizes that the momentum might switch, calls a timeout, trying to pull his team together and regroup a little bit. Back to everything being in play. The North Penn Knights, they get to practice here. They get to kind of practice with the ceiling and the baskets being in the way. So definitely North Penn has a little bit of an advantage there when it comes to that. The Trojans might not be familiar with the obstacles in the gym. Trojans looking to tie it up here. They need to win this game to stay alive in this series.
And Mountain's going to serve it away for the Trojans. Bumped by Dolan, set up by Powers, and sent over by Warrenley. Sent back over. And we go back and forth. Now LeBron's going to settle things down, and Warrenley sends it over for the kill as it was tipped by Valvona at the line, and North Penn steals a point there.
Mountain just misses there for the Trojans. Looked like she had her eye on the ball, just slightly off. 20-18, North Penn gains possession back.
Looks like Boland's in for the Knights to serve it away. Now Mountain's going to send it back over, set up. And Warrenley's going to send it down for the kill. It just stays in bounds. North Penn takes another point.
Much needed point there for North Penn to extend their lead to 3, 21-18 in game 3 here.
And Boland with the serve once again. Set up by the Trojans and sent over by Park, and just falls in North Penn territory, and the Trojans take another point.
Trojans keep closing that gap. Let's see if they can come all the way back and win this game. Trojans looking to bring out everything they have in these last few points here.
And the serve by Hahn, set up by Brunton. And they're going to send it back, and she's going to send it over, saved by the libero, and sent over by Valvona. And the Trojans are going to take a point.
Trojans bringing it in within 1 for the game 3 here. 21 North Penn, 20 for Wissahickon here.
And Hahn with the serve, hits the net, and North Penn's going to take a point. And now Lilly coming in for Warrenley, and Pazoot coming in for Dolan, and Lily's going to serve it away. Lily with the serve. Strowski sets it up and now sent over by Ahlstrom. Lily there with the pass. Now the spike, the block at the line. Spike intended by Pazut and blocked by Vavona. And Trojans take another point.
22-21 here. North Penn up by 1. Trojans looking to tie it up.
And the serve by Vavona. And Lily hits it back and out of play. And it's all tied up here as the Trojans take a point. And Vavona with the serve once again. This one's going to go out of bounds, and North Penn takes the point right back.
North Penn catches a little break right there to take the lead, 23-22 in game 3.
And now Cooper with the serve. Set up by Mountain over to Bean. And Mountain's going to send it away out of bounds, and North Penn takes another point.
North Penn up by 2. Timeout for the Trojans. I suspect that the conversations taking place in each huddle right now are very different. How are the Trojans going to come back, and how is North Penn going to get this final point here to win the match?
North Penn does have the serve. A little bit easier when you have the serve. Trojans really needed to stay alive here. We saw just prior to the top of our broadcast, the JV game went into game 3 as Wissahickon came back. And JV only plays 3 games. So they went into a sudden death game 3. We'll see if the Trojans varsity have enough in them to send this one to a game 4. And Cooper with the serve. Park over to Bean and set over by German. Blocked at the line by Thompson. And now set up by Pazut. Saved by Bolin, and Pazut's going to send it over at the line. And miscommunication there is going to clinch a victory for the Knights, as German just couldn't handle the block. And North Penn's going to take this game 3, 25-22.
North Penn brought energy the whole entire game. Did a great job.
North Penn with another 3-game victory. We saw Monday night against Penn Ridge. They came out strong, finished the Rams in 3 games. The same result here against Wissahickon. They take game 1, 25-10, game 2, 25-21, and game 3, 25-22. So North Penn goes back up to 500 at 3-3, and Wissahickon with this loss falls to 1-4 on the season.
Much needed win for North Penn.
And that's going to do it here for our coverage here at the North Penn High School Gymnasium. For the entire North Penn Television crew, I'm Jake Lobrecht. Alongside me, Mia Melcher, saying so long. We hope you enjoy our broadcast, and we hope to see you next time here on North Penn Television.